Ruben Saldaña fue líder de una de las pandillas más influyentes de los años 90, conocida como International Posse. Cuenta que cuando era tan solo un niño consiguió en la pandilla lo que no tenía en casa.
So the streets became my dad. And la pata de Miami que nosotros estábamos viviendo estaba ganga, mucho ganga. So yo estaba un product de mi environment, you know. So I became what every kid became there, a gang member.
Audra Saldaña tuvo un historial de violencia en su casa. Los golpes que recibió de su padre hicieron que buscara refugio en las calles.
No le tenía mucho miedo a nada. No le tenía miedo ni a otro varón, a un hombre. Yo no le tenía miedo a nada porque ya como me pegó mi papá, nadie me iba a dar así.
If you're here, you're way ahead of the game. So we need to take what we learned here to those that aren't here. Each one teach one. Because if not, the cycle continues. We're just up here blabbing our mouths like I'm about to do right now, right? So dealing with gangs, the first question I want to ask before we talk about gangs, because a gang won't exist without people. So we have to identify what does a gang member look like before we even talk about gangs. What does a gang member look like? Don't say anything. I already know what half of you are thinking. You're looking at me saying, it looks like you. I get it all. Yeah. Right? But the truth is, it looks like you. It looks like the commissioner. It looks like this sister right here. That's what it looks like. It looks like everybody in here, right? The gangs don't look like they used to when I was in the gangs, right? With the bandanas, with the beads everywhere, with sitting on the street corners with hoodies, throwing up the gang signs, like the FBI just hit up. Gang banging is internet banging now, right? You don't see them out there, not in Orlando at least, out there in the neighborhood corners like, you know, I've been to New York recently, I've been to LA recently, I've been to Watts, I've been to Compton, I've been to South Central. They're not hanging out there like that anymore, right? Went to Chicago recently, we didn't see them hanging out there like that recently. Not saying there might not be patches here and there, but what we think of as gang members from the movies, watching the movies Colors and American Me from the 80s and 90s, that does not exist anymore for several reasons, which I won't even get into unless somebody asks in the question and answer series. So what I want to get into is, now we know what the gang member looks like. It looks like all of us, right? So what is the function of the gang? And this might come as a disappointment to a lot of people here. I'm not against gangs, right? I'm against the leaders who misguide the gang members into criminal activities. Because when you look into the definition of a gang, it's 3 or more with similar activities. This could include a skating crew, skateboarding crew. It could include a bunch of law enforcement hanging out, right? But when you throw the criminal element in there, now you have a criminal street gang. We're not going to break up gangs. If you have kids, and especially boys, and there's females with broken homes, and most of them without father figures in the household, you're going to have a gang. Especially if this single mother is out there busting her behind, working all day long for this child to provide. You're going to have gangs. We're not going to break up the gangs, right? Humanity has been tribal from the beginning, according to what I know, what I see and read, right? So we're going to have them. So what we need to do is change the mentality of the gang leaders. Because where the head goes, the body follows. Right? We say this when I teach the kids in the grappling and stuff. It's an old wrestling technique. Wherever that head goes, the body's going to follow or the neck's going to snap. Right? So, dealing with that, going back to stereotypes, I know you said, oh, the guy got the bandana shoes. This is actually the first time I bought these when I was in LA last summer. I thought they were pretty neat. They're called Troopers. They're actually sold for law enforcement officers in California. Right? If you look them up. So, you know, that could be deceiving. Here he is with the bandana shoes, right? The Compton hat. Everybody in Compton is not a gang member. I can promise that. Camp stands for Children Animal MMA Program, right? I went to Watts to train in an infested Crip neighborhood. Imperial Courts, look it up, right? They took us in with so much love. The Imperial Courts Center. And they had to get the permission of the gang members. They do things a little different over there, so there wasn't it. And we came with a whole band, I think 15 kids, to train their kids in mixed martial arts and boxing. And there was love. There was peace there. Why? Because nobody goes into those neighborhoods to show them that, hey, there is other things you could be doing. All the OGs, they sat outside. Hey, go get such and such, go get such. we had about 30 kids out there. Right? The Compton hat, same thing. Long Beach Boulevard, went out there, trained a bunch of kids. This lady used to be one of the founders of the Pyru Bloods. So we went into a Crip neighborhood, we went into a Pyru neighborhood. I'm neither Crip nor Pyru. Right? Don't get it twisted. Don't let the hat fool you. I just wanted to go on stereotypes. I don't even really wear this hat a lot. And I'm not from Compton. I'm actually born in Brooklyn, from Miami, and live here in Orlando. So what I would like everybody to do is think about, who here has children? Raise your hand. Think about your favorite baby picture of any one of your children, right? And if you don't have children, think about your picture, your little baby picture that your mother adored or maybe your father adored, right? Okay, I have pictures like that too, of my kids, and my mother has plenty of me, right? Never, ever did my mother or father think that that baby would grow up to be a criminal gang member. Never. That's not what they gave birth to. That's not what we are. Right? So you might say, well, how did you get involved? Never, ever did my mother think at 16 years old that her baby will go to the prison system, the Florida prison system, at 16 years old to do 19 years in prison for gang activities. Never. That's not something I'm proud of now at 43 years old, and I'm sure that's nothing she's been proud of since 16 to right now. So the question is, how do we prevent this? How did it happen, right? I didn't have a father figure in the household. My mother graduated from the Army. She actually worked directly under President Reagan in the NSA, Fort Meade, Maryland. It's crazy, we ended up here in Orlando at the Naval Training Center, military base. I actually brought my Miami gang and started there, figured out, but it eventually became the biggest gang in Orlando, Florida, right? I was the leader of the biggest gang in Miami, Florida. I started at 13. It didn't even take me to become 20 years old, 22, right? The more foolishness you did, the more rank you got, the bigger top dog you became, and then you had to wear the consequences with it, right? And I wore a whole lot of them with it. So I want to thank, first and foremost, and we can give a hand, this isn't to blow her head up, but, before you clap, for Commissioner Bonilla, and the reason why I'm saying is because she could have chosen to bring a law enforcement officer up here. But if you want to learn what really goes on, you got to bring somebody up here who's really done it. So let's give her a hand. I'm not going to the NBA to learn how to play football, right? And this is where the system is broken. I like how the NBA brother spoke about systems, but we're not trying to lock them up to get them back in the cycle. The systems are broke, right? So the first part and the first problem is the parents. Don't think, well, I got my wife, well, I got my husband, that your child won't still get involved with criminal street gangs. What are y'all doing after school hours with your child? Are you throwing them on the internet? I'm telling you, that's what the banging is going on. Let me tell you something. I know active gang leaders right now, all over the United States, in some of the biggest gangs in the United States of America. And anybody knows about gangs, you should be able to check mark them off your head, right? That had their mother and father in their life, their entire life. Their entire life, before there was even internet. Before there was internet. It's the parents. It's not the kids' fault. It's not even the gang leaders. They were misguided. I became a gang leader. I remember a gang officer, an inspector, told me, he was the general in the Florida Department of Corrections. It's like, man, you destroyed a lot of lives, man. Ruben, man, I'm so glad you changed your life. I said, you think I invented gangs and destruction? Did you forget that I was a child that was misguided, that I joined a gang unwillingly at 11 or 12 years old, that I was misguided? You know, and my mom and dad got divorced, and my mother was working in the military. Then wasn't like now, 7, 8 hours. They were gone all day long. My mother was busy busting her behind to provide for me and my sisters. But she allowed other friends for me to hang out with them, and I got misguided. Keep a strong hold on your children. Know what they're doing. Know who they're with. And let me tell you something. Their friends aren't willing to go out with you. There's a problem. They're hiding something. Those are the first signs. What's being hidden? Mom, can I go out with such a? Let me go with you. No. If they don't want you around, they're doing bad stuff. They're doing stuff that they're not proud to do in front of you. You have to. It's the parents. Don't blame the babies. Don't even blame the gang leaders. They wouldn't have gang leaders if you didn't feed them to the gang leaders. And I say this with all due respect, with respect of his position, with respect of his speech, but I have to disagree with my MBI brother on 2 points. The first point is, he said nobody will buy, I live on OPT over here. He said nobody will buy on OPT. Have y'all seen the prostitutes out there lately? right? Yeah. Have y'all seen what's really out there? No, but on a serious note, I would have to disagree that OBT is cleaned up. 100%. I live on OBT. 2 months ago, and I was there when I first started the game. We started there on Oak Ridge and OBT after the military base in '92. It doesn't really seem a lot different than back then. About 2 months ago, 4 kids were shot at Papa John's where I live at. I live 2 streets away from there, Oak Ridge and OBT, and 2 of them were killed. One of them actually happened to be my co-defendant's son. In my last case that I caught, almost 20 years ago, I haven't been arrested about 20 years. Tattoo, stay with me, I'm sorry. I can take off the hat and shoes and look a little decent, put on better clothes, but it's a testament of my past. OBT, I think I recently read, it's the most dangerous pedestrian crosswalk in the United States of America. They're being killed left and right. I think 2 just got killed on Oak Ridge yesterday. I was just told 2. We have the most dangerous highway, he brought it up, I-4, that intersects in the United States on OBT. I don't feel safe walking. I live on OBT. I wouldn't walk there at nighttime. We go there all day long in front of the pimps, in front of everybody. I'm with law enforcement. Let me make that real clear. I'm with law enforcement on cleaning up. I wish my wife and kids could walk there. We live in that community. We pay taxes like everybody else, right? I want it cleaned up. We just have different ways of doing it. You know, I come with the gloves and gloves, and they come with the handcuffs, right? And I want the community clean. Does anybody remember 2 weeks ago? Who remember seeing a story on OPT where the 2-year-old baby got shot twice? Mistaken out there. Anybody see that? Raise your hand if you've seen that. You remember that? That baby's here right now. Come here, Dory. This is what you call a miracle right here, right? Being shot twice. So I can't say that OPT is safe because this baby just got shot twice in the back. In the back, over 50-something rounds shot into the house on a misidentification that we're being called. We're being told right now that was possibly gang-related on somebody who used to live in there beforehand. So we give a hand for Dory for bravely coming out here on the scene. Like I said, I was finding it hard-pressed for her to say that OBT's safe, not to include her other son is here, who's one of my students, had guns pulled out on him, and he's right over there. You can come up or you don't have to good. Ladies. So, you know, it's different when you're looking from outside, but when you're in there, we can use the cleanup on OBTs. And don't think, there's an OBT everywhere in Orlando. There's an OBT on Pine Hills. There's one in the east side Orlando. There's one on Goldenrod. There's one on, we got a lot of work to do. What are we going to do it? Are we just going to leave today and say, oh, those are nice speeches? Did you see what the guy put on the thing? Or did you hear what that gang member that did all the time? Did you hear? Are we going to make a change? Or we're going to come? We got somebody pushing it, spearheading. I don't know nobody else doing gang and sex. I don't know nothing about sex, but he was right. I got one of my homies here from California. Can you come up here, Mr. Frank? He flew in yesterday from California. He's a former law enforcement officer. He was actually educating me to the same stuff that you were saying, that in California there was a lot of similarities with the gangs and the sex. That's not really a lot on the East Coast dealing with the gangs. They kind of have a little more respect for their female gang members. But I haven't been plugged in with gangs for a long time, so I couldn't, say what's actively going on. But I was hoping he kind of looked gangsterish before he came here and changed it. He got into his Marine shot. I got found man because he looked kind of cholo out. I was going to bring him up here and say, my homie, you're going to think he was a gang member. And he's former law enforcement and served our country, former military. He's also the president of the United States Fight League, the youth pancreation events that we host here in Orlando, Florida. If you give it up for him as well for coming out to California. So I'm about to start winding this up. I just hope that all of us here, that when we leave with a mission statement, right? We go to the 5 most crime-ridden neighborhoods Root Camp does in Orlando, Florida. And I can't tell you about statistics. I know in these little things right here on these feet going out there to the neighborhoods, they seem the worst to me. Timberscan, Oak Ridge, OBT, Pine Hills, and Paramore. We go out there. My wife and I, Audra, will you come up here real quick? And we pick these kids up, and we take them to a safe spot on the east side of Orlando, to Kaleo Ministries, with Pastor Marcos and Pastor Melissa over there, who raise your hand. Do our stuff, and they help me feed it's just wonderful things. What I'm saying is, we keep our kids busy. We keep them very, very, very busy. Say we're keeping our kids. I don't ever say we keep our kids off the streets. Why should we? We should be safe. It's our streets, right? It's our streets. I don't say, oh, we're keeping them on. No, we're keeping them on the streets. We're doing the right things. There's a difference, right? We should be able to walk our streets. We should be able to walk OBT. All of us should be able to do these things. We have to come together. So whatever Ms. Bonilla's plan is after this, I hope this won't be dead. Let's come together as a united force and see what we can do to better Orlando. Orlando is a hot topic around the world right now. I'm telling you, Orlando is a spot. And let's see if we can make it safer than when it was for some of us when we were growing up here, or wherever we came from, whether it's New York or California or wherever it had. So just to let you know, Audra was also in a gang with me in the 90s, 94, 93, 94. A lot of people don't even know that. She chose the smart route. When we were together then, she was like, we need to get married and leave the gangs. And she was a threat to my gang life. I got rid of her. She got married. She left the gang. She got 4 kids. I'm raising one right now. She was living in the good part of town, what I call the Beverly Hills, Waterford ladies. So I told her, I said, listen, my mission is to help those kids on Oak Ridge and OBT. So we're moving. She said, oh my God, to OBT, no freaking way. We moved there 4 years ago. We started our program there, boot camp. And her son, he tries to, act a little hood, and I have to always remind him, listen, you live in the hood, but you're not a hood kid, man. You don't even leave our doorstep without your brother watching you to the trash can and back. You have, and that's the God's honest. He's not even allowed to go dump out the trash. There's been kidnappings on our street, right? So if you want to take it from a guy who looks like this, from the other side of the gate, from everything that came up here, and I don't even know who came up here before me, so forgive me if you look like me, that's cool. Right? If you don't, it's still cool. But watch your kids. That's key. Watch your kids. Yeah.
Stop being scared of. Stop being scared of pissing off your kids. It doesn't matter. They're not going to hate you. Stop being scared of making them, oh no, don't take their phone because he's going to be so mad. Don't take his game because he's going to be so mad. Take it. Take it. Because it's a matter of what are you going to watch, a video game? You're going to watch that thing sit there by itself when you lose your child. Because you didn't take it from him when you were supposed to. And you should have been there instead. So who cares if he gets mad? Let him be mad. But I bet you, if he gets mad, you send him to his room, tell him to sit there. You don't care if he's mad. And you come in an hour later, and you lay with him, and you talk to him. You make sure they know that you love them. And they're not going to be mad at you. But it's important that you do that. Don't just say, no, just give it to him. Just give him the game. Just give him his phone. Don't do it. You'll lose him to that. It's not worth it. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you, everybody.
I was the one that protected her from it. And if you've never been down that road, you're not going to know what hit you.
Y'all expect me to come after that? Let me see if I can flip the script then, because enough said, right? Kids, youth, young adults, let me flip the script. Start nagging your parents. Flip the script. Start nagging them. In order to nag them, you got to do what? What do you have to do? Let me hear something. What do you have to do? You got to put them video games to the side, right? You got to put that phone to the side, right? Because when you start nagging your parents, guess what? Now you're engaging, right? Now we're having communication lines opened again, right? Yeah. You start nagging. She said enough about them nagging you. You start nagging your parents.
Takes two to tango.
And if the parents aren't giving you that ear, now we got the problem again. Right? Because they're going to go to, who was it, Billy Bob or Bob Smith or whoever it was. Sorry if any Bob Smith's watching this or if they're in the room, right? Yeah, so parents, sometimes we forget too that they really are looking for this. We're so busy doing this, they don't feel like they can talk to us. Sometimes we have to shut up and listen to what the kids are telling us. And then that stuff might come out, so we don't have to take them, unfortunately, to people like the sister right here to open up to, or to people like me to open up to. They should be opening up to you. But maybe because when they go to reveal the stuff you don't like, you're all down their throat. Give them a chance to talk. hear them out, and you might realize they're not the problem. There might be somebody else behind the scenes, but if you don't give them an outlet, they're gonna go there everywhere else.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I just have one question.
Oh, great. All right, so I think you're almost at the same time. You do it first, and then
I make no secret that I'm an advocate for returning citizens who are formerly incarcerated, who have demonstrated more than just words, a change in their life. Let me give you an example. The United States Fight League, which John Frank, that I brought up here, started almost 18 years ago in California. We go through the federal mandate for the safety courses, right? And there is a background screening for sex offenses and crimes against children. So first thing I would say, brother, when you're gonna be an advocate, let's unite with those who are doing the proper standards of screening. Now, that's the first step, but I'm gonna tell you what, as a formerly incarcerated individual, there's a lot of YMCAs that want my program, can't get it because I got a record. We need to change the mentality because what they have doesn't work. And I love what the brother said, because these funds, it really, my crowd that's here for Root Camp, we get so irritated seeing all these funds go to these garbage programs. And that's what they are. Because after school, they're closed 2 hours later, right? And while we're out here grinding out thinking that those who were formerly incarcerated cannot be the solution to the problem. Because I promise you, a promise by all recorders, you get me and this brother together, and this sister back us up, and let us work together. I don't have to be an informer for him. Let us work together. Watch Orange County crime go down, because it worked in New York City. Mayor Giuliani is not the reason why the crime went down. They started hiring credible messengers in the Department of Probation. Look up the history. What that did was stop the kids from looking up to the OGs to do crime, because the OGs now had a job to take care of their family, so they didn't need to do crime. So they reinvested the funds, and I'm hoping Orlando gets on board with that, brother. That was a good question. My brother from Africa, I picked them two up from Africa yesterday at the airport. Let's get together. We ain't got to do no paperwork, no screenshots. Let's just make it happen, because we're on the streets all day.
Bueno, la historia de Ruben y Audra Saldaña tiene final feliz. Ambos se conocieron cuando formaban parte de una pandilla, se casaron y ahora dedican su vida a sacar de las calles a niños y adolescentes con problemas por medio de la práctica del boxeo.